when the knight is better, then play often is dictated by thinking in schemes and by taking one step after the other, defining positions to aim for and then reaching them, then the next aim, and so on and so on. In the first step, the knight often wants to have complete control over the position, to have time for the slower maneuvers. So in Strudinskaya Chernikov, European Senior Championship 2011, to take on h6 or to play knight f6. And of course, knight f6 is the right way, stopping black's counterplay, taking full control over the position, and then this is the first step, and so on and so on. We will see. Taking on h6, on the other hand, would lead to a draw. Now black's counterplay is quick enough, as Baburin has given in chess today. Here in such races, the bishop is often very strong, due to its long-range capabilities. And so the knight should be very careful when entering such races. And here, it would indeed be a draw. Okay. So, in the game, knight f6 was played. Okay, what is... now black can do nothing. The king is imprisoned in its half of the board, and the bishop has no target at all and just shooting into the air, and nothing can be done. So white has all the time in the world. And in this kind of approach, humans are better than computers, because they think in these, I have to aim for this, and no matter how long this 10 steps or whatever is no problem for a human. While for the computer, the longer these variations get, the more difficult it is to calculate everything, because essentially there is nothing to calculate in precise moves. It's more about plans and schemes and patterns, more motives. Okay, what is the next step in white's winning plan? Okay, white must free the knight again, so the king goes to d4 to stop black's king and to free the knight from that job. Okay, what next? Black can do essentially nothing. Of course, now the road on the king side must be opened for white's king. And then the king, of course, in the next steps is obviously clear, infiltrates into black's position, clear. There it is. And the aim is not to take directly pawns or whatever, this is not. What is the next aim? Okay, we can define an intermediate aim to penetrate to the heart of black's position. Okay, but what is now the aim? Okay, after bishop f5 in the game, white could take the pawn and so was not really forced to show the final aim of the business. Here now it can be taken because this race is not very interesting. White is just too quick, taking everybody, and white could even take here to win. But okay, in the game it was maybe even easier to calculate. Okay, now the race could be entered because it is well, white has such a head start. It is very one-sided. But always be careful when entering such races, because then the bishop again becomes very strong. Before it was just hitting the air and doing essentially nothing. But here in the fight on both wings, it is better. But okay, I admit in this given position, the knight wins easily. Okay, but after king c7, what was the real aim of white? Zugzwang, one of the sharpest endgame weapons. King e8, and after, okay, here even though no Zugzwang is needed, the king could go to d6, and then white can win as he wants. But after king c6, king f7 reaches the final aim of white's strategy, the Zugzwang position, which breaks black's defense for good. The bishop must defend both pawns, and if the king moves, then it has lost the tempo. And now white wins as white can close the road again, or king d5 loses the bishop. So this was the target position of the white strategy from the beginning, and black could not prevent it at all. And for humans it's relatively easy. You don't even have to see the target position, I think. You can just play it and then go ahead and ahead and ahead and ahead, and then it just must be the right strategy somehow to penetrate with white's king into black's position. If this doesn't win, then the whole is probably not won at all. Okay, it does make some sense, of course, to make a short calculation here of knight takes h6, but in principle it's the wrong direction, and it also leads to a draw. So in general, the knight wants to take control first, and then make progress step by step, as in this example, which I think is very typical for this fight of knight against bishop, if the knight is better and can establish full control. This usually is the first aim, of course.